Hey guys, I'm Jay, and today we're looking at the Kizer Vanguard Flashbang, which is a Matt Cucchiara design, and that is the same fella that is responsible for the much-loved Kizer Vanguard Dukes. We're going to talk about why I like this knife so much. Stick around. Now, all of the specs that you are currently looking at are measurements that I had personally taken myself, so for those of you interested, good spot to pause and read. Now, as usual, we'll get into what I like about this, what I don't like, and some of the potential deal breakers, but first, let's take care of those size comparisons, and we're going to start with a fellow Kizer knife, of course, the Gemini. The Kizer Vanguard Dukes, the Ferrum Forge Gent. How about the Kershaw Strobe, the Lion Steel SR22. Let's do a couple of Benchmades, and this is the 4A and the 940, the Zero Tolerance ZT 0450, and we're going to wrap up this segment with the Wii Practic. Now, starting with the blade, you're looking at it. This is a 3-inch clip point with VG10 steel, which should be no surprise because all of the Kizer Vanguard line feature this blade steel. It is hollow ground with a really nice high polished satin finish, and you are seeing this correctly, and a recurve edge. The blade thickness is 2.82 millimeters and a width of just under an inch. So from the spine to the sharpened edge, 0.92 inches wide. The sharpening choil on the Flashbang is, well, it's fairly large. So it makes a very large sharpening choil, but just a hair too small as a finger choil, and I almost wish that this was a little bit bigger. You know what I mean? Just instead of being that in-between size, just go ahead and accommodate a finger, why don't you? That blade is riding on a ball bearing pivot and deployed, as you can see, with this very, very large flipper tab, which again is a design characteristic that you will also see on the Dukes as well. The action is, well, just absolutely fantastic. I mean, it is very, very reliable. Every time you push down on that flipper, the blade will pop out. Now, even though this blade, it is fairly light, you can get it to a little bit of shake and bake. You can get it to drop shut. Very, very smooth action, and so that means you can do that thumbnail closure, you know, where you let the flipper tab hit your nail, and then you go ahead and boop, shaker closed. Now, the nested liner, it looks like it's locking up at, I don't know, let's call that about 40%. And if we check, I'm going to go ahead. Oh, yeah, absolutely no play in any direction. Very, very solid. And now that nested liner, it's raised up just enough to make access to it very, very easy. Centering, just about perfect. Well done. There's only going to be one area of jimping, and that is going to be here, if you can see, on the flipper tab. I can fit all of my fingers on this 4.25 inch handle that is made out of G10. And for the most part, I mean, that grip is very comfortable. There is just one area where there's just some sharpness going on, and that's going to be here on the sides of that flipper. And now, even though it might not look like it because the scales are just, they're just smooth, the G10, the traction from the G10 scales is not bad. I honestly thought that my hands would be slipping all over the place on this, and they are not. Disassembly, very, very easy. I mean, there's just the two body screws, and you do not have to remove the pocket clip to completely break down this knife. Now, speaking of the pocket clip, it is going to be just the one position, tip up for righties. Yeah, no lefty love for us today, and it's a fairly shallow carry. Definitely not deep. That's going to leave. Oh yeah, that's going to leave a good amount of handle kind of exposed out of the pocket. Now the closed width here at the widest point is going to be 1.11 inches, and you can see that the widest section is going to be towards the bottom of your pocket, so it's going to make just getting your hands into the pocket a little bit easier. The handle thickness is 0.47 inches, so it is under that half-inch threshold. Now, before I go ahead and toss this up on the scale, I just want to show you it's wide open construction with just the two barrel spacers, and if we look on the inside, you can see that yes, the liner has been in fact skeletonized in an effort to reduce weight. Let's see how they did. They did very, very well. 2.9 ounces, which is going to be roughly the equivalent of 1, 2, 3. It looks like about three AA batteries, or one ZT. Yeah, almost the exact same weight as the ZT 0450. Oh, hey, really quick, guys. Go ahead and click on that subscribe button if you're looking for knife reviews that get right to the point. And if you enjoyed this video, why not leave a thumbs up? Thanks, guys. Now, I have previously reviewed both the Kizer Vanguard Dukes and the Zero Tolerance 0450. If at the end of this video, if you look up to the corner, go ahead and you click on the icon, and you'll be able to watch my full review of both knives. Now, unfortunately, we do have to talk about some of the potential deal breakers, but rest assured, there are not many. As a matter of fact, there's only 3. The first one being the pocket clip, and the fact that it is far from deep carry, and again, no left-handed option. Next is going to be regarding the flipper tab, which, yeah, it's big. I mean, and it does get in the way. So when you're trying to maybe cut something on a flat surface, it's going to make even less of that sharpened edge able to make contact on that flat surface. And not to mention, I mean, this thing is just going to be getting caught on and kind of poking at whatever it is that you do have in your pocket at the time. And the last potential deal breaker is going to be regarding that edge, the recurve edge. Now, I don't mind it as much because it's really not as severe of a recurve edge. I mean, it's not going to require much positioning when you're sharpening. It's going to be fairly easy to sharpen, but I know a lot of you don't like messing with the recurves, and I get that. So where does that leave us with the Kizer Vanguard Flashbang? Well, you can pick up one of these for yourself, $68, which coincidentally is, I believe, the same price that you can pick up the similarly designed Dukes. And I think for that money, this is just it's a screaming deal. It is. I mean, it's a fantastic knife. I love it. Buy it in confidence, knowing that you are going to be getting a very, very well-made knife with decent blade steel and excellent action. I mean, especially if you don't mind the recurve edge, if you don't mind the shallow clip for righties only. I mean, you could even go ahead and toss an aftermarket clip on here. But if that stuff doesn't bother you, then absolutely get one of these.